Okay, so here we are. We're in Remnant 2 today. We are going to be showing off a medic build of mine. Actually two. Be showing off my solo build that I use personally. Also be showing a co-op medic build. I am personally trying to make co-op builds for people that play in teams. I feel like this game is better with teams and with friends. So definitely going to be centering my builds around group play. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this build. So what are we working with? Working with the Archon. Archon's really good. Has a really good prime perk that allows us to generate mod ability every time we activate a mod. That's kind of what we're going to be basing on is mod spamming. We want mod spam as much as possible. This is going to really feed into what we're doing, our whole damage output and everything else, along with its innate damage perks. We're also using the medic for the healing shield. Healing shield's really good. This is what keeps you alive. I like to go with medium armor. Medium armor I like a lot. I like the iframes you get. I like stamina costs that you have. These are the armor that we're using. It gives us a decent amount of armor. We also, I have like fortify and stuff like that, so that's why you're seeing this armor rating a little high. We also have a couple rings and stuff like that that is going to up our armor rating. This ring gives me flat 15, plus we have a 15% armor efficiency on my relic. Also on my relic, we have the damage reduction, which is going to be helpful. None of this stuff is mid-max, so you're going to see some things that aren't mythic. There are better options. This is just for someone coming out of veteran that's getting into nightmare. That's, you know, people should have these things. Trying to make it as basic as possible while still being really good. We're going to have this relic, which helps add more to your damage reduction. Gives you 10% on top of whatever else we have going on here. This is really good, and it's also going to give you a damage buff. On top of the Amber Moonstone. Amber Moonstone is all RNG, but this gives you a 25% flat damage reduction after losing 30% health, which we will be doing. It will happen. The whole point of this build is to have things that you're doing already and giving you buffs for things that's going to happen to you innately. So taking damage. We have this ring too that's just going to give you flat 5% damage reduction on top of whatever's on the relic, which is it's not too crazy. It's flawless. And then we have our plus armor, and this ring also gives us health, which we definitely would like higher health, but damage reduction helps you more. The health is more for the healing aspect of this build. And then we have this ring that cools down your skills as you're getting critical hits. You should be getting critical hits anyways. Like I said, this build is based on doing things that you should already be doing. So you're going to be taking damage. You're going to be wanting to get these critical hits, which is going to cool down your skills. And cooling down your skills faster is going to help you pop that shield more or use the Archon's ability, whichever one you're using. Archon's abilities are really good. I haven't used one, but what I've used are really good. And being able to use your skills more is going to not only help you stay alive, but also give you health with the medic. So the Archon has the slow bubble that works really well, works for tight quarters. I haven't used that one, and the Havoc form is pretty crazy. You're shocking everything, you're You have a shield that you can put up. You have lightning, so you're electrocuting everything. Your Havoc form is really a all-in-one stop shop. And then you also have your healing shield. What this is really working on is your Resonating Heart. Resonating Heart is going to give you over heals, not over shield, but an over heal that allows you to take a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and let's go check it out. So this, we're just going to showcase the mods and how fast they regenerate. I threw fire over there, and then you can already see we're already halfway filled up with our mod. And we're going to switch to our next weapon, use that mod. This gives you 5 charges. This works really nice. We're going to pop our shield. We're going to blow some stuff up. We're going to take some more hits. And you can see, like, shield took a lot of hits already. And I'm purposely not dodging as much just to see what these shots look like. Right, and then we're going to use a Resonating Heart where we didn't even use that full health, and you'll still see that it heals very quickly. Yeah, our mod's already back, ready to go. Fire Flame Spitter. Boss coming here, so I want to try to get a mini boss anyways. We took that hit. If you can see, it still didn't do that much damage to us. We're gonna pop that, gonna roll out of that way. We're gonna shoot, 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 and you can see we're already halfway up again. Pop these mods, and they're dead. And our fire mod's already ready to go again. So that's how fast these mods are taking off. That's how fast they're regenerating. This is what this build is all about, is regenerating your mods quickly, to do a lot of damage, to kill a lot of enemies fast, on top of getting your skills cooled down. Best thing that I like about this build as well is you can literally use whatever weapon you want. You want to use your Nightfall, use your Nightfall. Any mod that you have that you would like to spam, use this. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how it goes. If you like it and you like the mod, run it on this. You'll be able to abuse it. We're talking about immediately. All you have to do, swap weapons. You will rarely run out of ammo unless you're using an ammo mod or a mod that uses ammo, like the fire shots or whatever, or the electric bullets. If you're using, or the corrosive shots, if you're using something like that, then yeah, you're gonna burn through. But you'd literally use anything. Best thing about this too is my traits. So the traits that I have on this are the innate traits that come with the Archon, which is the Flask Caster, and then we have Triage. We also have Fortify. We have our Regrowth. We have Vigor. We have a little bit of Endurance. I didn't want too much, but I was finding that I needed it. Definitely want to spec into more mod generation just to kind of speed that up a little bit more. That's where I got my stamina, was from there. Definitely want your skill cooldowns all the way max out. You're trying to use your skills as much as possible. Your mods are where you're getting a lot of your damage, and you're going to be switching back and forth between there. But your skills are what's going to help keep you alive, especially your shield. You want to be getting your medic shield back, those heals back as fast as possible. We also are going to be using Siphon. Siphon works really well. I like having the lifesteal. Best thing about lifesteal is this works really well with weapons with high damage. Lifesteal is based off your base damage that your weapon does. So that's where you're going to be getting the lifesteal from. That's where you're getting your 3% from, is that base damage. So the higher your base damage, the more lifesteal you're going to get. That's why I like using my grenade launcher. It gives me the most lifesteal back. So if you're going to be using a bow or anything like that, that's what you want to use. Now, co-op medic build works really well. All you have to do is really just change out a couple things from this base build, and you have your co-op medic build. So you're going to want to change one of your rings to the Burden of the Divine. And then you're also going to, the second ring you can kind of play around with. So you have the encrypted ring, which does heals on mod use, and because you're spamming those mods, you're going to be getting that 10% healing as you're using those mods anyways. And the rapid fast mods really help. You can also use the ring of the forest spirit if you don't have this one. That works really well too, just getting your effectiveness up. Or if you want to go ahead and throw in, leave a damage reduction mod on. Your biggest things are your resonating heart, your burden of the divine, and if I had it, there's a relic that uses that's really well for healing effectiveness. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it works really well. But if that doesn't work, there are other mods that you can kind of just slot in. On top of, you could throw on this ring here that gives you 3% health while the shield's active. Works really well, just to give you a boost of healing while that shield is active. Getting your teammates healed, activating that shield, and doing that rotation. But honestly, anything's going to be working. The heavy lifter is going to be your resonating heart. Resonating heart is going to be your heavy lifter. All right, just as a side note at the end of the video, right before publishing this, Bash, a YouTuber, put out a video on his tank build, his tank medic build, and he brought up a lot of really good points. He was absolutely right. So I made some changes to, and I switched out the resonating heart after playtesting it and watching his video. And I got to see for myself. He was absolutely right. The Crystal Heart is doing a lot more heals, and it's a lot more consistent on top of your 25% damage reduction. It's crazy. Yes, my movement speed is reduced by 50%. It honestly doesn't matter. You're literally, yeah, you can't move, but after you get healed, your healing is going to be off the charts. So you might as well just start shooting. Right? It's not going to really matter. Also, these are interswappable. The Archon and the Medic, if you want to run, I would suggest running the Medic for team play, so that way you get its prime perk, the Regenerator. That way you're never running out of relics. When I'm playing by myself, I'll run the Archon as my primary. I'm not too worried about losing my relic charges. I have the max. But if you don't, then I would suggest running the medic. It doesn't matter each way. The build works just the same. Also, you can change these rings around a little bit too. Because I'm using this Crystal Heart, I tagged on the Bless ring. Gives you stacks of Bulwark. Bulwark is always good to spec into. I'm using the Dead King's Memento. That's going to give me some extra health. We're using the Ring of Robust to give me a 10 health and plus 15 armor, which is really good. Any kind of way to up your armor to get that. And then, of course, the Burden of the Divine, as well as our amulet here, which is going to give us a 25% damage increase plus a reduction to all incoming damage by 10%. This is going to help you get up to that 80%. I would also highly suggest farming to get the Song of Aether. This thing is absolutely nuts. And with the Archon, you're going to be able to spam this. It causes slowing. It's less damage dealt by the enemies within a I think it's 15-meter radius. Like, it is amazing. Yeah, 15 decrease to damage dealt. This is really good. It's gonna help you stay alive a lot, especially when you're running it with the Archon. You can blast this in the middle of enemies, and you and your team are going to be just fine, taking 15% less damage, and you're going to be able to be healing them all. It works really well. I will be coming out with a heavy version of this. This is kind of the light armor. You want to kind of dodge a little bit. The heavy armor version is a lot better. I think it's going to be a little bit more expensive for like rings and stuff like that, but it shouldn't be too bad, especially you coming out of veteran and into nightmare. So I will be posting that here shortly. I just kind of wanted to add this on to this video before I went ahead and published it. So if you guys like my video, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel, and it would be highly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.